Hello there, Scorpio. It's Keegan. Welcome to your latest reading with me. I hope that you guys have been doing well. I just wanted to take a minute here at the beginning just to say hello to you here on camera. I've already pulled some cards from a couple of oracle decks that I like to use to get an overall insight into what your energy feels like, what might be going on with you. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at those cards just so you can see them really quickly. I will come back to the forward-facing camera in a moment to talk to you guys. But as you can see, I've pulled some cards. I decided to do this with lead energy and then breaking it out to see what else wanted to be revealed here. And then I pulled an oracle card that has a little mantra, a little focus for you, maybe some advice or guidance. I want to talk to you guys quickly about this so you can decide if this is a reading that you think might be one that you want to hang out and listen to. So for this oracle card, we have my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. And I'll just show you guys that just in case you want to pause it and read it a couple of times. Based on this card and then the other cards that came out, lots of people have been asking me about decks, and so I just want to say this oracle deck is the Universe Has My Back oracle deck. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. I utilize that deck mostly as an oracle deck now, just in case you were curious about the decks that are currently down on the desk. So the cards that you had, lead card coming out as stress, then you had turning in and intensity as the cards that came out as clarifiers underneath that stress, and then compromise and miser breaking down, again, give me a little bit more clarifying energy. So I'm going to switch you guys back over to the front facing camera really quickly. I'm going to talk to you guys about these cards. So like I said, the lead card coming out here, hopefully you can see that. Try to turn a little bit towards the light. You have stress, and I feel that this is something that the stress to me feels like it's kind of trying to prioritize your life, prioritize where you're putting energy out, prioritize who you're giving energy to. And it kind of feels like right now you're in the process of hoping that you can still keep it all going in some way. There could be energy here. Keep in mind, these are general readings. So for some of you, this might resonate in terms of a relationship, really trying to feel like you're putting in lots of effort, you're trying to work on things, you're trying to keep it from falling apart, realizing that that might not be something that you can fully do on your own. For others, this could be stress and worry around financial situations, feeling like you're barely keeping up or you don't have enough, and worrying about what's going to happen when things start to fall through the cracks. But it's that sort of energy, right? Being in a place where energetically you can't sustain what you've been doing, but not quite knowing yet what it is that you can let go of, what it is that you can try to prioritize lower. And there is a stressful kind of confusion that I'm sensing in not really knowing how to let things go, or how to try to keep up with the pace that you've been at. So in fine-tuning that energy a little bit lower, as I mentioned, you had two cards that came out. So you had turning in and intensity, and I'll just show you those two cards again really quickly. And I feel like this is good. This made me happy because the stress card had me a little bit worried about you guys. But this feels like you're taking that natural intensity that Scorpio is known for, and you are really trying to turn inward and figure this out. I think lots of you, this reading is probably going to resonate for you if you've been in a situation recently where you've been trying to get more answers, you've been trying to get more guidance, you've been trying to improve your connection with your own intuition, you've been really seeking out advice or guidance from your spirit guides, trying to connect to your higher self. It's that sort of energy. It's this very intense turning inward, seeking answers, seeking validation, seeking clarification, that sort of energy coming through. And then the two cards that came out to give me a little bit more insight into that, we have Compromise and the Miser. And this is really interesting in terms of the combo of these two cards. I just want to talk to you guys about these two cards really quickly. And I'm going to try to keep them pretty close so you can see the illustration, okay? But what's interesting about this deck, the Osho Zen Tarot deck, is you can utilize it as an actual tarot deck as well. And so what you're really looking at here is the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So what I want to say here in terms of the energy of these two cards, I'm going to put them back where they were. Lots of you might be actually in a situation where this is related to something that's financial or business. Now, it doesn't have to be. If you are resonating with this energy and that makes sense to you in terms of a romantic relationship, it's the energy that I think it's most important. And so watch this however it resonates with you, okay? But what I want to say is with both of these cards coming out as that final layer of giving me insight into the energetic puzzle of what I'm about to read, I think that, you know, what's most important for you is to realize that if you're coming from a place which is like the miser energy, right? You're coming from a place where, and let me see if I can get this. I really want you guys to be able to see that illustration. Hopefully that's not too dark. But you can see this woman has like, she's hoarding, right? She's so focused on trying to keep herself safe, keep herself secure, make sure that, you know, she has the things that she needs, that she's accumulated so much stuff, and so much of it is holding her down. It's keeping her walled in. And I think I'm sensing that in terms of the energy that I'm picking up for you guys. You're in a situation where you've become aware of how many people you sort of have responsibility to, and realizing that it's not necessarily a two-way street, that you're putting out all this energy. And again, this could be about friends, family, relationship, coworkers, you know, that whatever it is, there's so much being taken, so much flowing out from you, and very little that's coming back in. And your awareness around this is, I think, what's at the core of the stress that I'm picking up on, okay? Now, compromise, this is more like Six of Coins type of energy. And that's energy where we realize that the key to really getting ourselves into the place that we need to be in is to realize that when we are focused solely on trying to meet our needs, when it's all about us, when we're in that place of scarcity or fear-based thinking, and we're really only focusing on ourselves, we're caught up in our own emotions, caught up in our own thoughts. Our world has become very like self-centered, okay? Miser energy. Compromise is when we realize that there's a little trick that we can utilize with the universe, and that is taking our own requests, what we're trying to manifest, the vision that we're holding, what we're requesting, and we're asking for more than we need because we want to have the ability to help other people. We want to be able to share. We want to be able to donate, right? So in a situation where you're worried about, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Or in a situation where you're feeling like maybe a friendship is not being reciprocated, or your romantic relationship is not unfolding the way that it wants to, when you ask the universe for things, whether that's more money, more attention, more affection, more love, more closeness, more loyalty, whatever it is that you're asking for, ask for more than what it is that you need, because you can say to the universe, I want to feel like I have so many people who are rooting for me. I have so many people who are being cheerleaders for me, so many people who are loyal to me, who I can depend on, that I get energy, I receive energy from those connections, and I feel like then I can be more loyal to people. I can, you know, spread my energy more because I'm getting energy flowing in. Therefore, I have an abundance that I can share. And that's what this compromise card is really talking about. So with that in mind, let's go back to this card. I'm going to flip you guys back over to the overhead, and we'll stay on the overhead for the rest of the reading. But I want to read this to you again, okay? So keep in mind all of this energy that we just talked about. Listen to this. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I'm lost. Scorpio, this reading is going to be, without a doubt, about trying to help you figure out what it is that you need to do, what direction you need to take, what it is that you need to try to manifest, how you need to hold the vision for yourself over the next couple of weeks, up to a month, okay? So I'm going to use this tarot deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck, but I like to shuffle a little bit on camera and mix the cards up once I know more information about the energy of the people that I'm reading for. So as I'm doing that, I just want to let you guys know this is the Mystic Monday Tarot deck for those of you who are really interested in the decks. I know that I have lots of tarot readers who watch me, and so very often I will get messages, or I'll hear from people wanting to know what the deck was. And so I'm trying to be more mindful of mentioning that in the video so I don't have to go back and see what I grabbed. Okay, so Mystic Monday, I love this deck, not only the artwork on it, but also it's just a really good deck in terms of the energy and being able to get really clear messages through, for me at least. I do want to make a recommendation really quickly as well. If you are interested in tarot or in tarot decks, anytime I mention the deck, and I'll try to remember to put links in the description box if I remember to do it, but almost every tarot deck now will have an Instagram page where you can go and see more of the illustrations, or to get ideas for readings and spreads and things like that. So let's take a look, Scorpio, at what's going on for you guys. It's a continuation of the energy. I'm just going to do cuts. I want to pick 5 cards from this deck as well. I'm just going to do cuts and put them face down. Shuffle a couple more times for these last 2. I want this one. That one felt like it was trying its best to not be pulled away. So I'm going to stick with that energy. We'll see what these cards are, and then if I want to clarify, if we have time, we will. Again, I'm trying to keep these relatively brief to just be mindful of how I'm being instructed from the universe to deliver these messages. Okay, I want to actually just flip these cards over and really just see what's going on here. So, this is interesting. We do have a couple of cups that are coming out here. So we have the 6, the 8, and the 2 of Cups showing up. The 2 of Cups is in reversal. And then we have the 5 of Wands and the 9 of Wands reversed as the other cards that we can see. So, definitely some stuff going on in terms of relationships. Definitely some things that are going on in terms of our connections with people, decisions that we're making about that. But I want to actually start here with the 9 of Wands. We're just going to read, I think, left to right and talk about the energies I'm picking it up. The 9 of Wands reversed is being in a place where we're kind of closed off. But it's kind of a turning point where if you've been in a place where you've been really isolated, if you've been in a place where you've really felt like, you're kind of having to keep going or fighting or really working on trying to, put boundaries in place, whatever the energy is that you've been in, it represents almost like a turning point where that's starting to come to a close, but it's still this, it's not like a place where you've moved out of it. It's the beginning of that turning point. It's the energy that I was picking up on it from those oracle cards where you're taking a look at how your energy is flowing. That's the best way for me to explain what I'm picking up on. You've almost had like an awareness that's been unlocked inside of you that I think for a lot of you didn't have before, where you've really become mindful of your energy and you're realizing that you can really manipulate your energy and have a little bit more control over your energy. And it's really all based upon like how aligned and in integrity you are with yourself. Okay. I think that's what this 9 of Wands reverse is talking about, is being in a place where you're realizing that some of the things that you've been doing are wise. I think for some of you, you're realizing that boundaries that you've put in place, things that you've tried to kind of keep going with and keep working on, that some of that has been good, but some of it hasn't been. And you're at a turning point where you're having to really take a look at things, allow things that, need to come to a close, let those things close out, but also being in a place where there's resistance that's still going on with you internally. Again, it's like I'm seeing that image of the stress card, which I think I've already put it back in the deck, but you're on like a ball trying to juggle and you're on a unicycle. It's like you're still trying to keep it going, but guys, you can't. You cannot keep going full force, full energy with everything, okay? Now, 6 of Cups coming out here, to me, this feels okay. I think this is almost like a longing or an awareness of looking back at another space or another period in your life where you felt like maybe things were better. Again, this could be looking back at a past relationship, a past connection, but it's almost this feeling of like, at one point I was really happy. At one point I was really motivated. At one point I was, happy with my friendships. I was happy with my life. I felt like I had built something that looked the way that I want it to look. And it almost feels like when you think back about it, again, there's not a lot of heavy feelings. It's good. The 6 of Cups here is upright. So it feels very much like nostalgic, good type of thoughts about this. Okay. But along the way, something happened that put you into a place where, again, there's like this defensive energy. The 5 of Wands here feels to me like there was a tough run, right? There was a period of time where there were lots of challenges. There were lots of obstacles that were in your path. There might have been, lots of conflict. There could be just, dealing with people who wanted to bring you down or people who didn't understand what you were doing or where you wanted your life to go. But it's almost like you have this period of your life where you were content, okay? And then things started to get tough, things started to get hard, and it forced you into a situation with this 8 of Cups where you had to leave what was. Okay, so 6 of Cups is what was. There were problems, there were conflicts. You made the decision, I have to walk away from this. I have to pull away, I have to move on, I have to go towards something that's new. The problem here with this 2 of Cups coming out at the end is it's almost like you can't do what the Eight of Cups wants you to do. And I want to talk a little bit about the Eight of Cups. And this particular card isn't illustrated in the way that I'm going to describe this, but usually with the Eight of Cups, you can see here they're just lined up, right? But usually with the Eight of Cups, you'll have 8 cups that are stacked, and there's a clear indication that at one point in time there was another cup sitting in a place, right? There's a gap. The Eight of Cups is really about the person taking that 9th cup, which is wish fulfillment, dreams coming true, knowing what type of future you want to move towards, right? That person has taken that 9th cup out, and they're moving on towards something new, and that 9th cup that they take with them eventually becomes the cup that they offer to someone else, okay? So in this situation, right, you're moving, you're starting to move your energy and change things specific to things in the past, overcoming the obstacles that kind of like put you in a place where you felt like you needed to move on. This Two of Cups, though, is reversed. Okay, so if you've decided what it is that you want, you've taken that 9th cup, which you've claimed as your Ace of Cups, and you're moving forward in life to maybe potentially offer that cup to someone down the road, you have to deal with this. So what is this? The Two of Cups, when it's reversed, is all the stuff that happens when we go through a bad relationship. It's the pain, it's the trauma, it's you know, the trust issues that we develop. It's the feeling like, you know, I'm not even interested in that sort of thing. Romance is for idiots. So like, who wants to deal with that? I'm done. I've turned all the emotions off. My heart is closed. That's not necessarily true, though, right? You've reclaimed that cup. Now, it doesn't mean you have to extend it out. If you really are someone who feels like, I just want to be single, you know, I'm not necessarily interested in a relationship, I'm not sure why you're listening to me do a tarot reading here. But that's fine if that's what you choose. But what I'm saying is, energetically, I don't feel like this is what all of this is about. Okay? For some of you, one thing I just want to mention is that you could have had in the past a relationship that really did feel like it was a good relationship, and that came to a close for some reason. For some of you, it might have been that you actually lost a partner. And so you have this memory, right, of what a really good relationship can be like. For others of you, you could have just had a really good relationship with someone that kind of morphed and changed into something that is, you know, something new and something a little bit different. That could be, you know, it expanded into, maybe it turned into something more like friendship versus staying romantic. But you look at that, whatever it is for you, you look at it and you're like, you know, that I had this thing that was really nice and good. And even if I don't necessarily want that particular person, or even if I can't have that particular person, I do want to find that again. That's what I'm talking about when I say the Eight of Cups, that energy of reclaiming what it is that you want and moving forward towards it. But you have to let go of all the things that would block you from having somebody come in. If you have trust issues, if you have abandonment issues, if you have issues with how you attach to people in relationships, if you need to deal with past trauma, if you need to deal with things on your own, you have to deal with those things, guys. You can't manifest and call forth a healthy relationship, even if you really want it. Even if you're really clear about what it would look like or how it would feel, you cannot make space for that person to come in to have that relationship if you're carrying a lot of unresolved trauma, if you're dealing with things that, you know, are making you not trust, not be open, not be receptive. Okay? So even though, you know, I'm a nosy person, and I would love to like poke around on this a little bit more. Full disclosure with you guys, I think that my readings on YouTube, I have to do some work to keep them a bit more general, because I've noticed that my views are really dropping a lot. And I think that's because as I get more and more specific in a reading, more and more people stop watching because it doesn't feel like it pertains to them. And so when I have this big drop off in a video and people aren't finishing it, it just makes YouTube think that the video isn't that good. And so that's why I'm working on keeping these a little bit shorter. I hope that you guys understand that and can support it and appreciate it. And if it makes it possible for me to do these videos more often, more frequently, then you know, that could be a potential benefit to it. So I'm going to switch you guys back over here to the face cam. I just want to say goodbye to you. I'm going to pull another oracle card out for you before I go, just as advice or guidance. I do want to let you know, if you're interested in a personal reading with me, all the information for personal readings is in the description box below. There will also be some big exciting news about personal readings, and I'm super excited to share that with you later in the month about I have a website which is going to be launching really soon. And so I'm excited to show that to you guys and walk you through what that means for you if you're someone who likes to do personal readings with me, and it's going to make it just easier all around for everybody, I think. So Scorpios, let's see what advice or guidance wants to come through for you specific to dealing with a situation. Pull it right here. Show it to you guys. I haven't seen it yet. I'm just going to lay it down for a moment. I don't want to see it yet. One thing that I want to say to you before kind of wrapping this up, the thing to take forward from this reading, Scorpio, is the primary focus that you need to really be putting your energy towards is figuring out what are the things that I can release? What are the things that I can let go of? What are the things that I can heal? If it's not for me, I'm going to let it go, and really working on clearing that stuff away, because you actually do have a lot of fortunate cards and you have a lot of potential to move into something that's good, that's abundant, that's rich, that contains the things that I think you're energetically trying to like align yourself to. But those traumas, those fears, those doubts, those questions, that anger, all of those things that are kind of residual from whatever happened to you in the past, you have to clear that. You have to be able to kind of get rid of that energy to make the space for the good to flow through. Okay, so card here. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So I did show that to you guys earlier. I don't do reversals on this. I think it was this way earlier. You can see the text is just printed. So guys, I think that is about you. It could potentially just be about another person, but it's really this theme, right? Letting go of the shadow of the past, choosing to see with the eyes of love, okay? 100% great advice in terms of moving forward with this. Scorpios, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I love hearing feedback from you guys. And I'll see you guys the next time I do a reading for you. But be on the lookout for some other things on the channel that maybe aren't necessarily tarot related, but I still think that you guys will be really interested in. Okay,